Hi everyone, I'm Saurabh. Welcome to my first podcast. So, in this podcast, what we are going to do, we are going to promise three things. Okay. First is that we will not take anyone's name. Second thing is that there will be stories. Some will be controversial, some will be honest. And third, we'll discuss about systems, AI automation, AI tools, and we will deep dive into AI. So, let's start. So before doing anything or before diving deep about the company or about what we have done or what about the things we are doing, first what we'll do, first I will basically tell you about myself. I'm Saurabh and I'm based out of Lucknow. My hometown is Lucknow. My schooling happened in Lucknow. And then I've done my bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Abbott University. And after that, after college, and I have got like 3 job offers. And I remember it was Hyderabad, Delhi, and Lucknow. And then there was a lot of discussion happened within family also. And then I have taken a lot of guidance and a lot of discussion and a lot of suggestions, and then eventually we decided that okay, what I'll do is that I'll work here in Lucknow first, and for a few months or for 7-8 months or maybe a year, and once I understand things, so when I get more information or get more comfortable about how IT works or how exactly you have to do and how to approach or how to work, and then once I'm a bit comfortable, then I'll move to a different city, because eventually there's no good amount of growth here in this city, so I have to decide or maybe select a city where I have to go and then search for a job. So eventually I've got an offer from Bangalore, then I've joined there, and then my whole journey of job and then work and everything started. My career started as a full stack developer. So from day one I was very much sure, because all my understanding, all my work and all the things which I have done so far, I was always motivated and always passionate about computer science, how things work technically, how I can do something new, or how I can solve problems. Because my life and in what I see myself as a problem solver, where I can understand the core of the problem and then I try to solve it I use my common sense. Second is logical thinking, critical thinking. I try to combine everything and try to fix something which is broken. And if something is not broken, I try to build something on top of it to make it better. This is how my theory in life is. So I was there in the job part. So then I started working for a firm in Bangalore. Then I switched companies, and then eventually after like almost 10 years, I have decided that okay, I have to focus on something which is of my own, because I have seen almost all, like in terms of development, in terms of lot of problem solving. I have seen systems, I have built systems, I developed lot of websites, lot of stores, web applications, AI automations, like a lot of things, and always trying to learn something new. Eventually I wanted to do something of my own, and then I think few years back my brother started the company. I also helped him to basically set it up, and then he was working, and it was majorly of marketing, and then later on it was focused of development and other things as well. So I have been there. Now I have started, like I think last year it was like I've taken this as a full time, and I've been focusing only in this company. And then right now we have like 3 companies. One is Codebiosis, when it is Codebiosis AI Labs, and then it is OrderX AI. And then we are right now in 3 locations, and I think in the next few months we will be on the 4th location as well. It is first location is Lucknow, then Bangalore, then USA, then UAE. And the plan is to grow like at least in next year, at least 2 or 3 more countries, to expand the company and then get more clients from that region. and then work with those companies and then fix their problems, try to build systems for them. So that is the whole idea. And I think when we are discussing about Codebiosis, the main thing is that the origins came because I have seen, and my brother also has seen, there are like lot of gaps in terms of the processes, in terms of the systems which companies follow. We see beautiful websites, we see like things are very much good aesthetically, animations are top notch, but there is no conversion, like you cannot place an order, there is no problem in terms of like there is no system in place which will basically capture and do the thing which is being built for. So for example, a website or e-commerce store is built for sales, right? The end goal is to get sales and you are trying to sell something on that store, right? Aesthetically it could be very good, it could be like best of the best website, it could be like good animations, you click buttons and you see multiple layers of animations and all the effects, but the core of the thing or the core functionality of the website is to get orders and then customers ease to place an order. So we see that lot of things are going on and things are like out everywhere, like things are broken, some websites are not having a basic tracking. So all these things, and we thought that we are building some systems, we know things better, so we have to basically focus and then take this control of where we have the core knowledge of development, marketing, and all the AI automation, all the tools and all the products all over what we know. We have built products, we are giving services, we are selling services, we are building services, and then we are also creating products for other companies, also creating new automations for internal services, also for other global brands all over the world. So with my 10 plus years of experience in development, what I have seen is that whenever you do something which is complex and which is difficult to set up, eventually when it is done and it works in proper sync, you get results, and then you get scalability of that product also once you see that the whole process works perfectly what you have built. So I think in this podcast we have started this journey of Made to Scale. Made to Scale podcast is basically where I will be bringing in more founders with me. We will be discussing about systems, we will be discussing about products, tools. We will be discussing about the problem solving. We will discuss about the things went bad, the things went wrong, and also we'll discuss about what they have achieved after learning, after going from that backset or maybe from that downfall, how they have overcome that and how they are right now where they have built a successful company. So this is all these things will be discussed. This is the first episode where I am trying to tell you about myself, I am trying to tell you about my company, I'm trying to tell you about my services, but it should not be something which is more focused or only focused about companies or only focused about me. It is about the overall journey of my life and of Codebiosis, because this month Codebiosis is going to complete 5 years of foundational anniversary, you say. And these 5 years were very, very difficult, lots of ups and downs, because see, it might look perfect from the outside, but it is not the best situation when you are building something from scratch. So what I have done and what we as a company, and I have like lot of developers within in-house, lot of designers, marketing people, and then sales guys and everything. So we have full-fledged team in multiple locations, and this podcast where basically we are trying to give you a sense of what we have done so far and what we are going to do in next 1 or 2 or 3 years, because things are changing very fast. And and this podcast Made to Scale is basically to tell you more about Codebiosis, and then also about me, and also about how we shaped multiple companies and agencies, and how we built their systems, how we solved their problems, how we have helped them to scale, how we have helped a company from start till where they have raised funds or raised Series A, Series B, or all those kind of funding rounds. I'll not say Series A, Series B, I'll say like all those funding rounds, how they have been able to raise those funds and how we have helped them to raise that. Because when you go to an investor, you have to be on your A game to get money from them, and then only you will be able to scale your company. So that is the ultimate goal. Yes. So yeah, this podcast I'm going to discuss about that part. And since it is my first podcast, and then I might go wrong somewhere, but yeah, this is how we learn. I think this is how it has started for me also. Whenever I do something and I know things do not go very well from the start, or during the first like starting phases, but then once you are comfortable, or once I have become comfortable, things go very, very smoothly for me also. And I have seen in every aspect of life, even you do something which is very new for you, but over the time, once you do things constantly with proper, you give time, you give attention to it, you give your honest input, then I am sure you will get the best out of what you're trying to achieve. You will get the best out of it. That is my whole idea. And yeah, I think in this podcast we will not take any names, because this is the first thing which we have promised. We will not discuss about any specific company by taking their names. We will discuss about stories for sure, because this is how life is. Every day, every moment is a story which you live. Basically, everyone is doing something which is very interesting for them. At least it might not be for others, but for you at least, you're doing something very unique or very crazy, right? So yeah, that is how the things will shape up. In this podcast, the main thing is that my journey as a founder of Codebiosis, plus 2 other companies, plus what we are going to do next, because I'm also planning to create one more company in next 6 months, and then that is something which is more of product based, which we are going to work on, which we are building. And I will also show you from day one that what is the idea of that product, how we are building that product, and eventually it will go live in next 3-4 months or maximum 6 months. And then I will show how we are approaching investors, how we are trying to create a pitch for that. So the whole process I will also show you in this podcast. And in all these episodes also, I will also invite some more founders, co-founders, and other fellow founders and company and agency owners to share their experiences, what they have done, and their stories, their ups and downs, and all the things. So yeah, and this is the first episode. So in this episode, this was more of an introduction about myself, about Codebiosis. Yeah, I think I'll tell you more about Codebiosis, AI Labs, and Automex also, because Codebiosis is the main parent company where we do all the services like web development, application development, AI automations, product development, UI, UX, digital marketing. So we are a service-based company, Codebiosis, where we have one more division of Codebiosis AI Labs, where all the AI work goes on. That is like an AI studio, where we create products, where we build tools, where we shape all the new automations, and then we think about the problems and we try to solve those problems, and we discuss about the clients come to us about their problems, and we tell them that, okay, using AI you don't have to hire these many people, and then this will save that much of human resource amount, and then using AI automation you will be able to save X amount, and then your problem will be solved, and then there is no long hours of effort or working hours will go into this. So that is how this AI Codebiosis AI Lab has been shaped. OrderX is something which I have started last year, which is like a product as well. And this product is basically, it is more of for e-commerce stores. It works on Shopify, it works on WordPress WooCommerce, it works on custom e-commerce stores as well. So we have created a system where it helps customers to basically get their last mile delivery faster. Like we try to give them the overall TAT, a turnaround time of like 2 hours to 3 hours to deliver the order. So someone place an order, we have built a system. If you follow that system, your system will efficiently work, and then your order will be delivered within 2 hours or 1 hour, and everything is placed perfectly where all the system works as per how the e-commerce flow is, and then how we have like cleared those gaps to fix that problem. And then it has it has the AI automation, AI recommendation, AI chatbot, and so many things within that product. So we have started with this, like fixing the last mile delivery to make it very faster. That is one problem we are solving. Second we are solving is the AI automations within e-commerce, where there are a lot of things which we don't have to do it manually in terms of shipping labels or doing anything in terms of the order journey after the order is getting placed. That thing is there. And then one more problem we are trying to solve is to getting ready, like very less RTO, return to origin. That also we have tried, and then we have fixed like for almost 5 to 8 stores till now. And all those automations and all those problems and all those issues were fixed for like 5 to 10 stores, 8 to 10 stores. And I think this is like a bit about OrderX. And and the third and the fourth company which we are going to discuss about, we're going to start from the scratch, will be a separate series for that also, but it will come within the whole system of Made to Scale. So the whole idea of Made to Scale is to build something and then start it from the scratch and then scale it at a level where you are able to get investors on that company or on that product. And then you basically try to get more information about the tool we are trying to build, and then you can replicate the same journey for your product or for your idea, and then follow us with that process. So this is the whole process which we are trying to build. So now we'll talk more about Codebiosis, like in terms of what we have done in these 5 years, what are the milestones which we have achieved in these 5 years, and how Codebiosis shaped its form in these last 5 years. And I think it started with an idea of solving like core problems of the systems build or for the startups who are going to start, and then for the companies who are going to work for. We'll discuss about how Codebiosis shaped in these 5 years. What was the full process? What was the whole journey? What was the whole process? What was the full journey? What we have done? How we have got our first client, and how the registration happened? What exactly we have done? I remember it was 2021 January, where when we started, like 18th of January, we have done the registration of Private Limited. But before that, the whole journey started, I think, a couple of years before that also. It was like near about 2019-20. So where my brother was also working as a SEO expert, and then he knows about the marketing. He has done the course also of the marketing. So he had some clients, and then he wanted to build a new company. He wanted to build a company which will be focusing more of marketing, and then also it will eventually be working for the development, and then we will do full-fledged marketing, development, CRM and everything. So this was the whole approach, and this was the whole idea when we have thought about and started, because we have seen a lot of gaps also. And then this is how, because we were getting clients at that time also, we were getting clients to fix some small problems. We had some services which were in place, but we couldn't give like end-to-end all the services for a client. So what my brother was doing, he was doing some SEO stuff for some of the clients, and then it was some Indian-based clients also. There were some US-based clients, some UAE-based clients were also there. So we were trying to, he was trying to basically give them services of SEO, which was one of the best services which we could say at that point of time. So the cost was also we were not charging them huge, and they were happy about the things which we were doing for them. in that cost. Then eventually he asked for the support, and I'm sure because everyone goes to their sibling first, goes to their brother first to ask for support, right? So this is how started that. Okay, he told me about the idea, and I was very much convinced because I was also there with him in this idea from day one, and I helped him basically to set things up and everything, and all systems and everything. He run this business, I think, for a year or two in terms of more of marketing. And I was very much sure that okay, one day where we have to basically go and then go for all the services and provide all the services from end to end, from design to development to marketing to CRM to ads, like everything, like whatever you do for an agency or whatever you do for a customer, whatever you build for a customer who comes as a starting point of their starter journey, right? So we thought that okay, this is how we are going to shape Codebiosis. And I remember our first client was of like they came to us to fix a tracking problem. I remember there was like Google Analytics tracking was not working for the Shopify store. GA tracking was the issue, and then eventually we also had them for GTM, the tag manager setup and everything, custom setup, like some custom events also they had, so we have fixed that. Then after I think fixing that problem, they came back to us again, and then they asked for a development. So at that time we didn't have any partner and everything, so we hired some guy for the development. I also helped and I also supported at that time. And then eventually we got a full website from them. We have built that website for them, Shopify store for them. And then after that we also got like a maintenance for the whole store which we have created. So that was like a very starting level of startup. Then they eventually grow, and then grow to grown a bigger company. They have merged in a bigger company, and they have been bought by a bigger company. So that is how their journey started. And then I think we are still in touch with them. We are still fixing some problems for them. We are still trying to build something, a new store and a landing pages for them. That is how it is going on. Because see, from day one, whenever we have onboarded any client, our main goal is to basically provide the value, what they are paying for first. And second is that try to fix things which they should not come and ask if they do not know. For example, most of the clients or most of the business owners, they know about their business because that is their niche. But they do not know that okay, they might need this thing also or that thing also once their development is done. So what we have done, we have created a full system. We have created a full SOP that for every client or every development partner, we will make sure that okay, we will follow SOP for each client and every customer. Even if they are not paying extra also, that is in our SOP, we follow that. So we set up all the basic tracking, we set up all the shipping methods, all the payment methods. We help them for at least 10 to 15 products, and then we guide them also, and for the e-commerce stores. For custom builds also we do the same thing, and we also give like support of like at least a month once after they go live, after development is done. So yeah, that is how the journey started. Then we started getting more clients, and there are so many people who helped us in this journey. I remember that okay, some of the guys I worked in the previous companies also. They came and helped me. They came and then they referred me also for multiple clients, and then they have referred and by referral also we are not taking names here, but still we have got very good level of clients, like A-listers in what you say, the Ayurvedic brand, A-listers in cosmetic brands, A-listers in clothing brand. So we have been working for all those companies and D2C firms and D2C brands. So this is how it started. And then also we have started process of giving white label services. So we have partnered almost I think 3 or 4 agencies in US and Canada, where we are providing our white label services, where we are doing full-fledged development, marketing, design for them. And then eventually we work and we collaborate as a team, as a full-fledged team. we've just become additional part of their team, where we just get attached to their team setup, and then we follow and we try to go into their flow of process, and then we help them into multiple things like development, marketing, UI UX, and then so many things. Right now we're doing like so many AI automations for multiple companies, US and Canada. They have their clients, and then we get requirements and we help them for automations. We solve problems, day-to-day problems. We have built tools and products for multiple agencies and brands. So this is also we have done in this process of in this 5 years of process. We have worked on like mobile applications as well. We have developed custom builds also. We have done like custom integrations, custom modules we have created, APIs we have created, backends we have created. We have set up infrastructures on AWS. We have set up like all the basic we are giving like maintenance services. We are giving monthly retainer services for development, for marketing. So that is how the whole journey has been. And I think this whole journey, I think we have like a lot of stories. I have like lot of stories which I want to tell. Yeah, so I think in this Made to Scale, the podcast which we are starting, where we will bring in more more founders, more D2C brand owners, more entrepreneurs, and then more problem solvers who basically have seen a problem and tried to fix that problem for everyone. So that is how we are trying to shape this podcast. And this is the first podcast and first episode, so this is not something where we are like inviting someone from the first episode. That will happen eventually. We have lined up like almost 4 or 5 podcasts already, so we are in that recording phase, and we have like a very interesting D2C owners, and then they have very interesting stories which they are going to tell us. And then we will also eventually have one more parallel series of creating a product, and the whole name of Made to Scale is that we are building something from scratch, and then we will scale that product into a level where you can see that is working as a full-fledged company, and then we will try to get some investors and funding on top of it. So that is whole idea, which will go and parallelly work with that also. Day-to-day experiences are like not very unique, because I see every founder has their own story, have their own journey, and I also have my own journey. And I have been part of multiple teams also, bigger companies, bigger brands, and those stories also are there. Some of them are controversial, but 100% honest stories, no name taking, but still we will prove our point. Because see, in this whole scenario, in this whole world, in this whole scenario of agencies and companies and corporate, only one thing matters, is that what you are saying is honest, and what you are trying to build is correct, and you are not trying to do something which is you have not done something wrong by achieving your goals, right? Everyone is correct in their own space, but yeah, we will do something which eventually will be very interesting. And yeah, I think a lot of stories will come in, and a lot of content will come in. I think 5 years was a great journey, and I look forward to like next decade for this company to like grow stronger. And we will be having multiple divisions. We are getting top talents also within the company. We do hackathons within our company. We do like coding, problem solving. See, right now the whole scenario has changed of coding and development, what we were doing like 5 years back or 10 years back, right? So the whole scenario has been changed. Now things go more of like vibe coding also, plus using your technical information, plus using your technical understanding, and build architectures on top of it. That is how things are shaping up. That is how things are going on, and things will go in this direction only, which is what I have understood, and what as a company also we have understood, that we never forced to put or do something and like we never force anyone to like do it via code only. Try to fix, because you have to solve a problem, right? You do not have to always dive deep into the coding only and try to code from the first. But the main idea is to fix problem and then give them the solution, optimal solution. And if you see that, okay, right now you have built a solution of like 70-80% of capacity, like it is working 70-80% good. Eventually, you have to think about the optimal result, which is like 100% perfect system or perfect solution. That might not come from day one, but it eventually will come up once you have built something, once you have fixed a problem 70-80%, 90%. That 10% of problem solving, or that 10% you can achieve by understanding what you have given as a solution. And then on top of it, you will be able to create more products. On top of it, you will be able to create more value for that solution which you have provided. So that is the whole idea. And yeah, I think Codebiosis has shaped its form right now. I would say it is still 5 years old, and 5 years old is not a huge 5 years is not a huge milestone, but it is a milestone for us, at least, that 5 years have gone by, and because we have seen companies, the companies get started and then they are not able to complete like 5 months also. We have completed like 5 years. So that is the whole journey, that is the whole thing which I am very much proud of, that we are completing 5 years next month. And I think in this whole journey, in this whole process of work, in this whole idea of Codebiosis is to be a problem solver, to fix things properly, correctly, and then try to give optimal result. It might not come on day 1 or day 0, but it will eventually come up in next maybe 2-3 days or maybe a week's time. So that is how we see things, and that is how we solve problems. And yeah, recently we have done like a lot of interesting work, lot of websites we have done. I'll show you the components which we have built. I'll show you the solutions which we have created. I'll show you that all the designs component, all the backend AI automations, what we have done, how we have hosted our own LLM model, how our automations work, how we have built systems which are not dependent on some other third parties, how all these systems are built in-house, and how my developers have fixed these problems. How we face like huge hack attempts also. Like there are so many agencies and we are connected with, and we get calls that okay, there is some issue or there is some hack attempt at 2 a.m. in the night, and we try to help them because they are one of our, like what you say, one of our prime customers, or maybe a premier clients. So we have to give them a solution, and then eventually we also get into that and we try to fix that problem. So recently happened is that okay, there was a Russian hacker tried to hack a website, and then at 2 a.m. I've been called that okay, this happened, this problem is there, who this problem happened, and then who is available to fix that problem, which developer is available. So I was discussing with that developer. I was trying to understand what he's thinking. So I was trying to understand what happened in that process of the code, how the website was had. Very interesting story. I will show you snippets of the code. I will show you how they were able to do the backdoor entry from the code, how they were able to inject code. So all these stories, all these things will come up, and we will discuss some interesting facts also about the company. We'll discuss interesting AI tools also. I'll show you how you are using, or I'll show you how it helps other agencies. I'll show you how it helps other agencies. So yeah, eventually this is how this company or this podcast is going to grow. So made to scale is something which is a new idea which we are trying to explore. And I'm also putting myself in front of you guys, because I think you must have known Codebiosis, but I think very few knows about me and about the company and how things started and how things are going on and what we are going to do next, what we are planning, and then how things will shape up in the future. So this is how the whole idea is. And what I'm trying to build here is that made to scale is something which will provide value to you, because in this world of fast consumption of things, if you provide a value in a minute, is something everyone tries to get Everyone appreciates that. If you're trying to get value within a minute or in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, is something everyone appreciates, because no one has time to basically watch long podcasts or maybe long hours of podcasts and discussions. But still, if you get value out of it, if you get some interesting facts, if you understand things, if you learn something out of it, and then that is the whole goal. That if you learn something out of it, then you get value, and then you come back again for the new episodes and for the new content which we are going to place and which we are going to create, the new content which we are going to create. Yes. So I think this is how things will shape up. And I think this is only introductory session for my podcast. And next, I think episode where we'll discuss more about about systems. So in the next episode, we'll discuss more about systems, more about made to scale. I'll show you some AI automations. I'll show you some products and tools which we are using. I'll show you some of the AI automations, AI tools which we are using in-house. I'll give you some more insights about the company. I'll introduce some developers and then some team members also in this podcast. And then eventually we will also invite new, either I've told you I will, we are planning to invite, we have already planned to invite so many new guests. And we are trying to get more, frequency. We are trying to get the podcasts with more frequency. And then we are trying to, for each and every podcast, we are trying to bring some value. And that is the whole idea, and that is the whole structure, or maybe that is the whole purpose of this podcast, to provide value to you. So I think this is something which I'm going to do. Now, I will also discuss few things about problem solving, how we approach problem solving, what is my approach. See, I have worked enough amount of hours to give you these insights about how to approach problem solving. I have the credibility behind my back. I know things. I have built 3 companies. I've scaled these 3 companies. And then eventually we are in India, 2 locations. We are in USA in 1 location. We are in UAE in 1 location, and we are planning to be in Europe and Egypt and other locations as well. So this is, when I'm saying something, I have a backing of my experience, of my full stack development experience, of my entrepreneurship experience, of my experience of problem solving. So that is the whole purpose, where I'm trying to share my experiences and then give you more value to this. So I think overall I believe this is something which will help you guys. And I think going forward, things will be much more interesting. Things will be much more value added, because this is only introductory episode where I'm introducing myself and about my company and about all the things we have done. So I think this is how it should be, and this is how this is how it should shape up. This was a very quick and short session of introduction about Codebiosis, about me, Saurabh, founder of Codebiosis and 3 other companies. And this basically was like an introductory session where I have introduced myself, I have introduced my companies, I have introduced about what we do, and I introduced about the structure and the whole process and the environment and the whole the whole systems we have built. And then I've given you some sort of introduction about all the things. But going forward, we will try to add more values to next episodes. We'll give you some live tool sessions. We'll show you how tools are being used. We'll show you what exactly or what problems we are trying to solve here. We'll come up with some new stories also, which basically are real stories for sure. Those experiences which we have faced. And then I'll tell you more about how you can basically build a successful startup, because I have that backing or the credibility of seen things and seen startups and seen companies. And I also have one more thing which is very interesting in me, is that I have patience, and I do not give up very easily. And I know things. Today I might not know things very deeply, but maybe over the time, I am giving my hours, I am giving my work, and giving my time, heart, blood, soul, and everything to this, that eventually I will be someone who basically will give value to everyone who is listening to me and who's trying to build something new, and who's trying to build some company, who's trying to build something which they know and which they want. They have an idea, they want to build something on top of it. So this is the whole idea. And I think this is how it should be in life also. Thank you for staying with me. I think this is a very good introductory session of me and about my company and how and things what we are doing. Next episode, we are trying to we'll bring more value. We'll deep dive into things and we'll go into the tools and everything. So I think we are good. Thank you so much. And I think for 5 years journey, I will create one more session where we'll have some recordings of the office and some sessions, or maybe some short introductions of our company, of our team members who have been there from day one and who have joined along this journey and who are very much into this company, who are very much integral part of the team, and they have given a lot of value to the company. They have given a lot of edge to the company. So thank you so much for watching this, and we'll surely meet in the next podcast and we'll see how things shape up. So Made to Scale will be back with a new episode very soon. So thank you.